Lieutenant Brown, Roanoke City Fire Department.
Joe Austin.
I'm Karen Obenchain. I was married to Billy Obenchain, who was a battalion chief with Roanoke City Fire Department.
I'm Gary Huff. I'm a retired battalion chief with Roanoke County Fire and Rescue Department.
My name is Zach Obenchain, firefighter here at Station 2 on C shift. My dad was battalion chief Billy Obenchain.
It's the job that we're here to do, to serve the citizens, and to do that job to the fullest. You worry about your position, you worry about your job, and let the people worry about the job that they have. Chris was, of course, my brother. Of course, he had roughly 15 years here, and he was captain here at Station 1. And about 5 years ago, of course, we lost him.
I never thought would happen to me in a million years. I went in for a normal colonoscopy and woke up and they told me I had a tumor that was cancer.
Well, I go get a checkup every year. It's usually in December, and my PSA's been up. And the doctor says, well, you know, PSAs aren't that reliable anymore. But last December, my PSA went up to, I think it was 5.4 or 5.6, and she goes, well, we better get that checked out. So I went to a urologist. He did a biopsy, and he said, you've got prostate cancer.
Well, his started out as a rash, and of course, you know, we didn't think it was anything to be too concerned about. As it progressed, it started to itch, and I mean, it was a constant thing. Nothing gave him any relief. So we finally said, okay, there's got to be something that they can do for this. I didn't even go with him to the doctor the first time because I thought, yeah, it's not a big deal. And he came home and said, they think I have lymphoma.
My cancer was rectal cancer, and as I said earlier, it was diagnosed during a routine colonoscopy.
We worked on the same shift, and we worked every day, our days off too, you know, so we were really tight. For him to, within 2 weeks, we got, you know, a lot of people don't know, this all happened within 2 weeks, his battle with cancer. So being with him every day off too, and dealing with that and what's going on, you know, we just figured it's a headache or whatever else. Nothing could be this serious, not to a super fit guy that's living his life, you know, it couldn't happen to him. But
The most memorable experience is working with the people that I get to work with every day, because you can't find friends like this in another job.
Billy was probably one of the hardest working people that I have ever known. He didn't know how to relax because he loved working. The fire department was his, I guess it was a big part of his life.
He never missed a game, never missed a practice unless he was hours away on a trip somewhere. He was always there, no matter what the situation was.
He loved his boys. I didn't think he could love anyone any more than he loved them. He was so proud of everything they did and was always there for them. But when Hunter came along, I saw love that I'd never seen before.
that was some good memories. We always talked about it, and there's other memories that we probably can't talk about. It was really good too, though.
It took a while to diagnose it because cutaneous T-cell lymphoma is very rare, but it affects the blood and the skin.
I have the residuals from the treatment, the 2 surgeries I had, first to remove the tumor and the second to put me all back together. And I have residual from the chemo. I have neuropathy in my hands and feet, which basically I can't feel.
There's a little thing called the Gleason scale. And my Gleason scale was 7, which means I had a rapidly moving prostate cancer.
Many nights through the years, Billy slept in the bathtub because the only relief that he could get was a tub of cool water.
I have some strange side effects. Sometimes when I bite into food, my jaw will ache for a while, but after I eat, it goes away. But it's just the neuropathy. I still have problems going to the bathroom. I have good and bad days. Sometimes I can't venture far that I don't look to make sure I know where the bathrooms are.
For almost 10 years, he was on some type of chemo. And I don't think people realize the side effects of chemo. The cancer may be in remission or it may subside, parts of it, but the side effects of the chemo were as bad as the cancer and sometimes worse.
It's one of the hardest things I ever do, tell my two daughters that I had cancer. They watched my best friend, Billy Ovaltine, deal with his cancer for 10 years. So they had that in the back of their mind.
It can happen to anyone, and we're seeing it more and more. And I know that years ago we didn't know all the things that we know today. So I know he would tell them, think and take every prevention and caution you can to be there for your family and your children and your grandchildren.
I'm supposed to be the man of the house. Everything under control. It's the hardest thing I've had to do, to tell my kids that I had this. Telling them was the hardest thing I've ever done, as you can tell now. And it was the same way when I told my station. Because I'm not in charge, I can't control it.
I know he'd want everybody to think was the time you get off this fire truck right now, we're going to, it doesn't matter from a trash can to a dumpster, a car fire, or a big old house fire. This is the one. If you don't do everything you're supposed to do that we have been trained to do, and that is PPE, this is the one that's going to take you down. This is the one that's going to give you the brain cancer, the throat cancer. This is the one that's going to give you lung cancer.
I'm kind of old school. Back in our day, you kind of thought to be rough and tough and macho. Dirty gear was a sign that you were a good firefighter. Melted helmets meant you were a good firefighter. Those kind of things, I think you're seeing a lot of changes here. We're doing a lot more to protect our people.
Doctor at Duke told us, when I asked what causes it, she said it's a chemical-induced cancer.
It's probably going to sound silly, but the first thought that crossed my mind was that I wouldn't be able to walk both of my daughters down the aisle.
If I could have told them not to leave and it was a choice, I'd just tell them to stay. I love them, I miss them every day.
But I miss him, and I wish he was here so many times. Just to have him to talk to or argue with or whatever, you miss all those things. So I just wish he were still here.
This is it. This could be the one. I'm going to get off the truck and I'm going to take myself away from my family because I didn't do what I could have done on my part.
If his disease and him dying could make a difference, he would feel like it was worthwhile. That's the way he was.
Guys are really thinking about their career, thinking about what can we do to not this happen to me. Even the department is looking at it now, and that's what it's all about.
If you notice, I don't wear a wristwatch. I haven't worn a wristwatch since the day of my surgery. Time is different for me now. I live every day as if there might not be a tomorrow.
He left his legacy behind. Yep. The mold was broken.
I've seen a lot of changes, especially when it comes to education, more training, and there are two good things.
This is a career, and basically a firefighter's life is just a series of short stories.